Hey all, welcome back to my channel Tech for Today. After completing today's video, you will have a fair understanding about Shadow IT and how you can discover and manage Shadow IT to get more insights about the application used by your employees. And we'll also see what are the different methods to discover Shadow IT. If you're watching the series from the beginning, in my first video, I had given a brief overview about Shadow IT and other use cases. I'll put the link here if you want to watch it again. On a brief note, Shadow IT is any information technology an employee uses without IT approval. So, this helps you to know and identify which are the applications used by the employees without the knowledge of IT admin and whether those apps are risky or safe to be used in an enterprise. So, in an enterprise, it's not mandatory that every employees will use only applications which are required for the work, right? So they can use their personal emails, they can use their banking apps, or they can use the storage applications. So how, as an admin, you can make sure that all these applications are safe to use in your enterprise and how to figure out which are the applications which are used by your employees. So in a nutshell, Shadow IT is one of the use case of Caspi, which helps you to know and identify which apps are being used by your employees and what are the risk factors or whether those applications are risky or is it safe to use in your enterprise. So very first thing, we'll see how to discover and identify Shadow IT. There are different methods to do cloud discovery. First one, native integration with MDE for Shadow IT. MDE is Defender for Endpoint or Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, which is a security solution for endpoints. This integration helps you to immediately start collecting data on cloud traffic across your Windows 10 and Windows 11 devices. One of the benefits of this method is this works when the device is on and off the network, which means that if the user is working from home with his personal network but personal data, still the information or the data is collected for cloud discovery. And this gives the admin visibility towards the application used by the employees. And also, as an admin, you will have a deeper visibility into the sanctioned cloud apps and Shadow IT, which means you can see which are the applications which are approved by an IT admin and which are the applications used by the employees which are not approved by the IT admin. Now I'll switch back to my portal to show you the integration of MDE with MDCA. So you have to access security.microsoft.com, which is M365 Defender portal. And if you scroll down, there will be an option of settings. And once you click on that, you can go to the endpoints to do the integration or to see all the advanced features to enable from MDE console. Now here you have to search for Microsoft Defender for cloud apps and there will be a toggle which you will have to switch on, and once you on and save the preferences, this starts forwarding the NDA signals to your Defender for Cloud Apps. And by forwarding the signals as an admin, you will get or you'll have a deeper visibility into both your sanctioned cloud apps and also the Shadow IT, which means that as an admin, you will have an understanding or you will have an insights of the application and you will be able to understand which are the applications which are approved by your IT or is there any application which are not approved by your IT and you will be able to understand whether is there any risk which are pertained or which are there on the applications or all the applications which you have discovered, all those are safe for the users to use in your enterprise. But one thing which I want to highlight here is this comes with an additional cost. So which means that you will have to purchase an additional E5 license for enterprise mobility and security on the devices which are running on Windows 10 and Windows 11. And you have to make sure that all the devices where you have the license, all the devices has to be onboarded to your Microsoft Defender for endpoint. So if you already have your MDE in your enterprise and you already have your devices onboarded, so this is the best approach to integrate with MDCA to have to get a deeper visibility for the applications. Or else you have to keep in mind this comes with an additional license. You have to purchase the license and you have to onboard your devices to your MDE so that the admin will get a better insights on the applications used by the employees. Now coming back to the deck, integration with MDE is moreover getting the insights from the devices. So if you want to get the insights from the devices, integration with MDE will be the best approach. And at the same time, if you wanted or if you're looking to get information from the network devices, that is also possible. And that is also one of the method to discover the shadow IT, where you can upload the logs from your network devices in the MDCA console, and it will analyze and give you the information or give you the more insights about the applications used by your employees. Now, logs uploaded from the network devices can be achieved in two ways. First one is by the manual method, which means that by manually uploading the log. Second one is by the automatic log upload by log collector. So manual method or snapshot report, it gives the visibility for your application when you manually upload the logs in your MDCA portal. So you can get the logs from your from your network devices, that is either firewall or proxy. So those network logs can be manually uploaded in your MDCA console, and post analyzing the data, it gives you the more visibility over the applications used by your employees. Now I will show you from the portal how you can manually upload the logs from the MDCA admin console. So you have to go to portal.cloudappsecurity.com and log in with your global admin or security admin to get the full access. And the once you log in, this is the home page or dashboard of your MDCA console. And in the extreme right side where you have the settings option, you can go to the settings, and under cloud discovery there is an option of snapshot report, where you have the option to create a snapshot report and upload the logs manually. So to upload the logs, what you can do, just click on create a snapshot, and this will be redirecting to this page, and you can click on next and give the report name. For example, if I am fetching or if I am taking the logs from the uh, blue code blue code network devices, so I can give the name and give some description and the source, or I can select the appliances of blue code proxy. And here you will get more information or more insights about the log format. And as you can see here, for manually uploading the logs or for snapshot reports, FTP will be the only protocol which is supported for uploading the logs manually. And you can download a sample log, and you can match it with the log you have downloaded from your network devices. Why it is important to match? Because comparing the log with the sample whichever is provided here, it's important, because you have to make sure that the log whichever you are going to upload is compatible with the MDCA MDC. And moment or before uploading the logs, just make sure that all the attributes in the sense, it will look for the date of transition or source IP, or what's the source user, or if there is a destination IP. So there are different attributes which are required for the cloud discovery. So you have to make sure that the web traffic data whichever you are going to upload will have all the data which the MDCA is expecting. And once you match the data, what you can do, you can click on next, and there will be an option where you can browse and upload the data. As you can see here, the files with activities up to 90 days old and up to 1 GB in size per log file can be uploaded here. And you can click on browse and select the log which you wanted to upload it manually and click on open and just click on upload logs, and it will start uploading the logs for the to the MDCA admin console. So once you have uploaded, it will redirect to this page where it is saying you your cloud discovery snapshot report is being generated. But analyzing the report, it takes up to 24 hours. So just what you have to do, just upload the logs and you have to wait for 24 hours so that it will analyze your logs and analyze logs which you are uploaded, and it will give you the information or more insights on the traffic of the applications or more insights on the what is the user activities or user the application with which is being used by your employees in enterprise. Now once you upload the logs, you can see here if what is the status of the logs which you have uploaded. So here you can see here it's processing, which means that the log has not uploaded or still the analysis is happening, or if it is already ready, you will see the status as ready. As I said before, this is a manual method. Now if you have an option to automate this by automatic log upload by the log collector. So you can integrate the log collector directly with your firewall or your proxy so that the data flow will be automatically done to your Defender for Cloud Apps consoles, and admin will get a more visibility. Now the log collector for the automatic log upload, it runs on your enterprise, or it runs on your enterprise either over syslog or over FTP. So each log is automatically processed, compressed and transmitted to the portal. In case of FTP, the logs are FTP transferred to the log collector and then it is uploaded to the MDCA portal. I'll repeat this again. So if the log is transferred with FTP, initially what happens is that the logs are FTP transferred to the log collector, and then later it is pushed to the MDCA portal. But in case of syslog transfer, the log collector initially writes the received log to the disk, and then the log collector uploads the file to the Defender for Cloud Apps when the file size is larger than 40 KB. Now, once the log is uploaded to the MDCA portal, it is moved a backup directory, which means that the once the logs are uploaded, it is moved to the backup directory, and the backup directory stores the last 20 logs. So when the new logs arrive, the older ones, or the one once the new logs are coming or new logs are arrived in your network or MDCA console, what happens is that the old ones are deleted, and whenever the log collector disk space is full, the log collector drops a new log until it has more disk space. So, and you will receive a warning on the log collector tab when the disk space is full. The log collector can successfully handle a log capacity of up to 50 GB per hour. So if your setup typically exceeds, or if it exceeds more than 50 GB, it is highly recommended that you have to split the traffic between multiple log collectors, which means that you should have a multiple log collector which is set up in your environment if your data is exceeding more than 50 GB per hour. And here also very important thing what you have to check before uploading the logs manually is that you have to verify your log with the expected log type. So you want to make sure that Defender for Cloud Apps can parse your specific file which you're going to upload. Now there are different attributes, as I said before. Multiple attributes are there where which you have to match the logs which you are uploading with the sample data so that the Defender for Cloud Apps can parse the data whichever you're going to upload successfully. Also, the data which is flowing, or the log collector, the data which is actually coming to the log collector, it can compress the data before it is uploaded to the MDCA. And the outbound traffic on the log collector, it will be 10% of the size lesser than, or it is 10% of the size the traffic logs it is received, which means that if you are pumping or if you are pushing some 3 GB of data into the log collector, it does this processing, compression, all these processes it does, and it will send only 10 percentage, that is the 10 percentage of the 3 GB of the data. It will send only those information to the MDCA admin console. If you look at the deployment mode of this log collector, log collector can be, we can run this log collector on any VM, and which is running on either Windows, Ubuntu on premises, or Ubuntu on Azure, and RHEL on premises or CentOS. So on this VM, a Docker client will be installed, and all the files are injected to this Docker, where all the file compression happens, and then it is sent to the MDCA portal. So what happens? The file, it is sent to a Docker which is installed on the VM, and post doing all the compressions, everything, it will be sent to the MDCA portal. To analyze the data from or traffic from the on-prem resource also, this also can be done, where you can have this Docker installed on the on-premises, either on Windows or Ubuntu or RHEL, or any of this platform, you can install the Docker. And same like cloud, it is also important that your on-premises resources or on-premises traffic should be also monitored, and you have to make sure that there is no any bad attackers or malicious content which is there in your on premises, since on premises can connect to your public internet, it can be in a public IP. So we have to make sure that even though on premises resources are connected to the public IP, so that has to be safe. You have to make sure that these resources are kept safe from the malicious or bad attackers or any bad movement which is happening from the external. Now I'll switch back to my portal to show you how automatic log upload setup can be done in your enterprise. So here under cloud discovery, there is an option of automatic log upload, where initially you have to give, or you have to create, and you have to manage your organization's data sources. You have to mention what is the data source from where you will be fetching the information. So you can give a name, and you can select the source appliance from where you will be taking the informations, and you will be injecting to the log collector. Once you select the source, you have to, next options, you have to give the receiver type, which is the protocol by which you will be transferring the data, and select the protocol, and you can click on add. And once you have added the data source, next is you have to add the log collector. So data source is something from where you will be fetching, or you will be getting the from which appliance you will be injecting the data. Uh, and next is you have to also add a log collector, where you can give a name and just give the server or IP address of the VM where you're planning to host the log collector. And also at the same time, you can select the data source from where you have to get the files. So once you click on add, there will be a collect configuration where you have to import the collector configuration to the VM where you're going to install the Docker. So for that, for the setup, you can just copy this information and just go to your VM and just do the installation, where you will have a FTP user and FTP password will be generated, and this will be useful when you do the setup. I'm not showing the setup here. So there is a deployment guide to install the log collector on your host, and I will give the guide information in the description, so that the steps, these are like very pretty easy steps where you can just follow the steps and you can do the installation on your VM. And I'll add this I'll add this article in the description so that you can refer and do that. And once you have the log collector and the data source updated or set up in your environment, to have or to get the continuous reports, what you can do, just go to the continuous report and create a report. And what you can do, you can make sure that there is a continuous report which is getting informations or getting insights or getting traffic from your network appliances, and based on that the continuous report is pumping to the NDCA, and it does the analysis, and it tells you whether is there any sanctioned or unsanctioned applications, or whether any risky applications used by your employees or not. And so therefore the continuous report to create, what you can do, either you can select all the data sources which you have added, or if you wanted to specify, or if you wanted to say that only the data, the information from this source should be added, or you should get the continuous report only from this appliance, so you have the option to select that. And there are more additional filters where you even have an option to select a user group. For example, if you want to see the cloud use of your department, I say, if I can say a marketing department. So what you can do, you can import the marketing group using the import user group feature, and you can say that only users who are part of this specific group, for them only you wanted to see the cloud usage. Same like that, you can have an option, you can have more filters where you can select the IP address tags or IP address range. And once you have the report, everything set up, what MDCA does, MDCA analyzes the information and it will give the information, and it will tell you in the discovered application which are the applications which are discovered from which are discovered from the logs which you have uploaded in your tenant, and it will tell you whether is there any risky, or whether is there any low risk application, or is there any application which are not safe for your enterprise to be used. And based on this risk score, you can say whether these applications should be approved or should be sanctioned or not sanctioned in your enterprise. So talking about risk score is a huge topic again, which I'll be covering in the next video. So I'll switch to my deck to show you or to discuss about the another method where you can do the shadow IT discovery. Next is to integrate Defender for Cloud Apps with your proxy. So Defender for Cloud Apps, it natively integrates with some third-party proxy. So if you have one of these uh, secure, web gateway, what you can do, it actually gives your network endpoint, or it gives a seamless deployment of cloud discovery. And if you have these proxy, this eliminates the installation of log collector on your network and to enable the cloud discovery. So if you have these proxies, it is natively integrated with your Defender for Cloud application. So in this scenario, you don't have to do all this log collector setup, this Docker installation. It's not required. Directly, you just have to add this proxy to your Defender for Cloud apps, so that it starts pumping the network files or traffic to your MDCA, and the cloud discovery analysis can be done. And also the block capability which your proxies are having by default, these can be automatically applied on the apps which you are setting as an unsanctioned in the Defender for Cloud apps. Now I'll switch to the MDCA portal to show you a sample configuration of how you can do if you have a proxy which is already integrated with MDCA. For example, if you have a Zscaler proxy, what you can do, you can work with both Defender for Cloud Apps and Zscaler, and you can integrate these two products to enhance your security cloud discovery experience. Now, if you wanted to create a report, for example, if your network appliance is Zscaler, what you can do, you can go to the automatic log upload and you have to first add the data source. So click on add data source. And if you have this Zscaler proxy in your enterprise, you can just click on NSS feed as the name, and source appliance should be the Zscaler. Just scroll down and search for the Zscaler Curador LEF, and the receiver type you have to choose is syslog UDP, and you can click on add. To complete the configuration of integration with Zscaler, so there are some steps which you have to complete from the uh, Zscaler Zscaler side also. So where I can share you or I can give the link of the document, and same like Zscaler with all these proxies which you have. If you have these proxies in your enterprises, you can do the integrations by performing certain steps. So I'll uh, give the steps to do the description to do the setup in the description. You can follow that and do the setup in your enterprise. This was all about knowing the shadow IT discovery in MBCA. To sum up, we have discussed about how to discover and manage shadow IT. We have also seen what are the different methods to discover the shadow IT. In the next video, we'll talk about how to identify the risk level of your application. We'll also discuss about how admin can manage the application discovered based on the risk score flagged for the applications. Thank you so much for watching the video. Subscribe the channel for more content. Bye bye.